Gonna be honest with you. As a Lions fan, this is the exact moment when my cheeks are officially clenched. Because, I don't know when I'm uploading this video, but as of right now, as of the recording of this video, Frank Ragnow has announced his retirement. It's just so much fun being a Lions fan. He's been battling injuries for a very long time. He's even talked about the possibility of retiring early, so as shocking as this isn't completely out of nowhere. But I mean, oh my fucking god, paranoia is starting to seep in. Gonna be honest with you, but I'll be honest here. This this isn't the only reason I'm concerned. If it was just this, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But this this year for Lions, the Detroit Lions has been yeah, it hasn't been necessarily the best. Whether it was losing Aaron Glenn to the Jets, losing Ben Johnson to the Bears, whether it was the Lions given one of the hardest schedules in the entire NFL. Quite literally, there's just a lot of shit. It's just a lot. A lot of shit combined that makes this. It's starting to build up, So, I just wanted to make a video kind of given what I believe the Lions are going to look like this season. Now, let's talk about Frank Ragnow really fast. First of all, I wish him the best. The dude was an absolute tank. I think he only played 7 years, but he was a 4-time Pro Bowler. So, I mean, when you've reached the Pro Bowl over half your career, you're pretty good job. You might actually be the best center in the history of the Lions organization, which is saying a lot. Actually, no, it's not. We're talking about the Lions. Yeah. So here's the thing. I actually think they had a pretty good idea, the Detroit Lions. At least Brad Holmes, probably Dan Campbell too, that there was a real possibility that Frank Ragnow was going to retire. Either this season or next season, because they actually went pretty heavily on the O-line in this draft, and it was kind of shocking. I was actually a little pissed at first, because I was like, why are we doing this? O-line it's a small concern, but not a major one. But looking back on it, yeah, no. I'm starting to love them going kind of heavy on the offensive line in this draft more and more. In the second round, they went with Tate Ratledge, who, the more and more I've learned about this guy, the more I've kind of liked him. The dude is quite literally like every photo I've seen of him, everything I know about him. The dude seems like he already has 11 years worth of CTE. So, that's a good sign that he's going to be an elite offensive lineman. I mean, the dude literally rocks 69. And I'm pretty sure he's doing it to be funny. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. Now, there's been rumors that he's been taking snaps at center. I don't know if it's going to be him or Graham Glasgow, but I do expect him to be on the line now with Frank on. But on top of them getting Tate Ratledge, they also went out and got Miles Frazier, who was probably their biggest steal. They got him in the 5th round. He was the 7th ranked overall guard in the entire draft. A lot of people didn't even know how he fell down this far, so there's a real chance we might even see him playing. There's a good chance even Christian Mahogany right here. This guy got drafted last year. He's going into his 2nd year. He played a little bit on the line, but even he was pretty solid. So I really don't think losing. Is he still on the roster still? Last time I checked, Frank Ragnow was still on the roster, but they might have taken him off by now. Yeah, I don't see him. Either way, I don't think losing Frank Ragnow is going to be as big as a lot of people are saying it is. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the Lions' offensive line is just, it's just not going to be the same," which it's not. But I think the Lions have the depth and the pieces to at least be good enough without Frank. I really do. I mean, Frank, again, he's been battling injuries a lot, and every game he missed, and it wasn't too many, but it was a decent amount. Usually they would shift down. Well, as of lately, Graham Glasgow, move him to center, and the center position always seemed pretty okay. It seemed pretty all right. If anything, because they always shift down guard to center, the guard position was the bigger concern whenever Frank wasn't playing. But they went really heavy on interior offensive linemen this year. I think the guard position is going to be fine, and I think the center position is going to be fine, whether it's Graham Glasgow or where is he? Tate Ratledge, right here, number 69. Now, this might be the biggest concerning factor for me. Take a look at the Lions' away schedule. Don't focus on the home. Let's just focus on the home schedule, on the away schedule. Excuse me. Only two teams didn't make the playoffs last year. One of them being the Bengals, and they got really close. They got really, really close to making it last year. And the Bears, who could make it, but they also have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL and a first-year head coach. I don't think they will, honestly. But either way, I mean, let's just look at this. So, yeah, Bears, Bengals, Packers, Vikings. This is where it gets crazy. Okay, divisional opponents, the Lions play in a brutal division, and the Bengals. That's not horrible. But let's take a look at this. Chiefs, Commanders, Eagles, Rams, Ravens. This is one of the great. This is like the most fucked up away schedule I've ever seen. These away opponents are just insane. Like, what the fuck? Now, on the flip side, I will say this. Home schedule does not look that bad at all. I mean, Browns and Giants, and I mean, we don't even know who the quarterback of the Steelers are. It's funny, the Lions last year, they went undefeated on the road. This year, very good chance they can go undefeated at home. I seriously doubt they're going undefeated on the road this year. I think Roger Goodell took one look at that stat, that they were the only team that went undefeated on the road last year, and said, yeah, that's not fucking happening again. This is their actual schedule, if you wanted to take a quick look. This is actually what the fuck it's going to look like. Yeah, this schedule is kind of fucked. Now, all I want to do now is I'm going to try and give a very basic prediction of what I think the record's going to look like. Is this going to change? Yeah, probably, because I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I am probably, when the NFL season gets around, I do want to go through and predict every single game week by week. So I might make a prediction one week and change my mind when it actually comes time, 4 months from now or whatever. So let's just give a blanket outlook. And I'm probably going to start off with conservative, like, okay, what do I think it could look like? And then I'm going to go back and maybe change a few things and show you what I think their ceiling could be, their best case scenario with their record, and their floor, like what's the absolute worst. So let's just go with the average, like the most comfortable one. And it's hard because first game, we're playing the Packers in Lambeau Field. I felt pretty confident the Lions could get this done. And then Frank Ragnow retired, and now I'm just kind of thinking to myself, okay, we're going to be rocking a completely new interior offensive line, and our first game is on the road against the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, I don't know about that. But then I remember, if I remember correctly, the Packers do not start off the year that great, especially Jordan Love. Jordan Love tends to get better throughout the year, towards like the second half of the year, it always seems like. So I have no idea who's going to win. I don't. The Lions, I believe, have won the last 4 games at Lambeau Field. So will the streak keep going? I don't know. It's so close, dude. It's like a coin flip, dude. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Let's just, I'll be conservative, and let's just say the Packers win this one. Now, week 2, it's in Detroit, and they're going to be playing the Bears. I think the Lions are going to win this. I do. I think it's not even necessarily that it's a home game. It is, but like it's Ben Johnson's a first-year head coach. I mean, it's only going to be his second game ever as a head coach. If it was later on in the year, it'd be more of a toss-up, but I just don't think that he's going to have everything down by that point. I'd be very surprised if he goes into Detroit in his second game ever and pulls off a W. If he does, I'm going to be pissed. We are going to have some real fucking problems if he pulls that off. Now, week 3, we're going to Baltimore. It looks like a primetime game. The Lions really, really struggle against rushing quarterbacks. They do. So I feel pretty confident that the Ravens get this done. So we start off the year 1-2. Fuck. All right, now week 4. I feel pretty confident about this. I don't even know if the Browns are going to even have a certified starter at this point. I'm not going to lie. I feel like at the beginning of the season, they're going to juggle around a bunch of different quarterbacks, whether it's Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Shador Sanders, whatever. I don't think they're going to actually know who their starting quarterback is until like week 7. Like it's probably just going to be God knows. I'm going with the Lions. I feel pretty comfortable. We lose this game. Fuck me running. All right, week 5. At the Bengals. I think the Lions get this done. I think. Look, the Lions' defense last year was a mess. I think it's actually going to be pretty good this year. I do. You look at how many injuries they had last year on defense. I almost feel confident, and I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it, but I almost feel confident in saying there's no way they're going to get as many injuries on defense they did last year this year. That's just insane. Like over half their starting defense, I felt like was injured. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think the Lions' defense is in a much better place. I think they can get the job done, and I think the Bengals' defense is a complete mess right now. It might be better than it was last year, but that's not saying a lot. I think they can do enough to get the W. Okay, week 6. I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually do think the Lions can get this done, and the reason being is I think this is the year, and I'm probably wrong about this because I've said this before a few times, and the Chiefs have made me pay. But this does feel like the year that the Chiefs finally take a step back. Knock on wood. Now part of it is I just think their division is finally competitive. I think the Chiefs have really lucked out with playing in a very easy division. I don't think they're going to get that luck anymore. I think you look at their division, every team got better except for the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs got a little bit better, like on the O-line, I think. But it feels like every other team got more better than they did. So they were the least improved team in that division, let's just say that. I think the Lions really could pull this off. Okay, we got a rematch game, Lions versus Tampa Bay. I do think the Lions could pull this off. I mean, last year, the Buccaneers did upset the Lions in Detroit, but that was a really weird game. It really was. It felt like everything was off with the Lions in that game. I don't think that's going to happen, especially, week 7. I think by this point, the Lions should be pretty good to go. Everything should be pretty well run. So I don't expect any hiccups. I don't know how good the Buccaneers are going to do. I don't know if they're going to do better or worse. I feel like they're going to be just about the same, if anything. So they could win this, but I feel like the Lions are going to win this game. So now they're 5-2. Looking pretty good so far. Moving on to week 9. Their bye week was week 8. And division game, Vikings versus Lions. See, the thing is, I don't know anything about the Vikings. I don't, because you know what? JJ McCarthy. I don't know anything about this guy. I didn't love him when he got drafted. I didn't. I thought he was extremely overrated. I'm not alone in this. You look at his career at Michigan, and yeah, he showed a lot of good signs. He had moments where you're like, wow, that's a fantastic play he made. But dude, the dude almost never struggled in his entire Michigan career, like at all. Like, completely honest with you. I don't remember what it was, but I think I remember the stat. His last year at Michigan, all 5 of his starting linemen were All-Americans. 3 of them, I believe, were first team. The other 2 were second team. You're not getting that in the NFL. You're not getting... Even the Lions last year didn't have 5 Pro Bowl linemen, or the Eagles. That's crazy. You're not experiencing that. On top of that, they had the best running back in the nation with Blake Corum. Like, I'm sorry, I can't judge you based off of that. I can't. I can assume that you got carried, and that is a fact. He did get carried. Now, does that mean he's going to be bad in the NFL? No, but I just, there's nothing I could judge him off of. Nothing. I don't feel like I've ever seen a true JJ McCarthy test. Like at all. Dude, I think he averaged 16 pass attempts per game. That's not going to cut it in the NFL. So I don't know what to think about him, but I think the Lions get this done here at home. Week 10. Okay. I think this is the game where probably we lose. The Lions, I think, won 4 games in a row now. And I think that if we're not going to keep winning, I could see us losing to the Commanders, especially in an away game. It would be nice to get this W, but again, the Lions struggle with rushing quarterbacks. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, I will be honest with you. I'm the only person that thinks this way, but I'm not betting on it, but I do think there's a very good possibility that Jaden Daniels takes a bit of a step back this year. And I mean, like like a sophomore slump. I mean, Jordan Love did it last year. So did C.J. Stroud. They were still good, but like they were noticeably worse. I could see that being like a very real possibility with Jaden Daniels, but I mean you can't just bet on that. So I think there's a very real chance in a away game at the Lions. They've won a lot of games. Maybe they got injuries. I don't know. They lose this game to the Commanders. Dude, if there was ever a game I wish the Lions could win, it's this. But that's a lot to ask for, man. It really is. I'm probably going to say the Eagles here, but I'm not going to lie. Saquon Barkley, at the time of this video today, Saquon Barkley got announced as the new Madden cover athlete. If the Madden curse does to the Eagles what it did to the 49ers last year, I feel pretty confident in that. But again, I can't just assume that's going to happen. So it feels like the Eagles are going to win this. But if the Madden curse decides to be an asshole, this all day. But I'm sticking with that. Okay, now I'm going to let you guys pick. Who do you think's going to win this game? The Giants going to Detroit. Yeah, fuck no. Okay, revenge game. I think this is Thanksgiving. Now, the Lions always tend to struggle on Thanksgiving. Now, in the past, it made sense because we were always ass, but even as of recently, we still seem to struggle on Thanksgiving. Like last year, when the Lions went 15-2, it felt like the only reason we won on Thanksgiving is because Matt Eberflus is a certified dumbass. But I do think the Lions split the series and they get the dub over the Packers. So now they're 8-4. I still think this is realistic. I do. And I think the Lions get another dub here. I think, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna, but I'm thinking about making a video like this on every single team. Just doing a deep dive on their schedule. And if I do, and once I reach the Cowboys, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think this is gonna be the worst Cowboys team we've seen in a minute. I don't know if they're gonna be completely dog shit, but I think they're gonna be like 7-10. It all goes back to Brian Schottenheimer. I do not trust that guy at all. I thought that was an awful hiring, and I think their schedule is insane. I do. I don't know if it's more insane than the Lions or the Giants. Now, I'm probably going to do a video on the Giants because I think that's going to be pretty fun, but yeah, I think the team got maybe a little bit worse or better, maybe, I don't know. But Brian Schottenheimer, in my opinion, is a huge downgrade from Mike McCarthy, so I think the Lions get this done in Detroit, 9-4. Another game that I have no idea. I will say this: the Lions have seemed have beaten the Rams. I think the last 2 times they played, one of them being in the wild card round. I think Matt Stafford, finally claps back and gets his win here. They beat him last year, Week 1. I believe it was Week 1 against the Rams in Detroit. I think they probably get the dub here and get their revenge, which I think splits the series 2-2, including the playoffs. I think the Rams are going to be really good next year. I do. Some people think they're a Super Bowl team. Very good chance, maybe. I don't know though, but I think that's going to be a tough game to win. I'll be honest with you. Week 16, I'm going with the Lions here. I think this might actually be. This should be the year that Mike Tomlin has a losing record. This should be the year. Look at their quarterbacks. I say that, but somehow, some way, he's gonna find a way to get a winning record. Whether it's Mason Rudolph, whether it's who's the quarterback from Ohio State that they drafted? Will Howard. Dude, this guy's an NPC. I know he won the championship, but he's still an NPC. I can't even remember his fucking name. His fucking name is Will Howard. That's so fucking boring, dude. Or even worse, Skylar Thompson. That's their quarterback room. I think they're trying to get Aaron Rodgers. And if they get Aaron Rodgers, believe it or not, that might be the worst case scenario. So I'm just saying, home game for Detroit. I feel pretty confident they get the dub. Week 17. Is this the last game for them? No, they got 2 more. So this is the Christmas game. Now, at this point, if J.J. McCarthy is the guy, I mean, Week 17, he should have shit figured out. I mean, the Vikings team really is pretty good. I mean, Kevin O'Connell won Coach of the Year last year. It should have been Dan fucking Campbell, but, it is what it is. I'm not going to lie, he had a solid case, Kevin O'Connell. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I could see them winning this if JJ McCarthy starts actually balling out. I will say this, and this is the other thing about JJ McCarthy I didn't say before. It's always a red flag when the guy you draft in the first round gets injured really early on in his rookie year. That's always a huge red flag of mine. It's like, is that going to be like a concern for the rest of his career? Is he going to have injury problems? I'm not saying he is, but again, I do not feel good about JJ McCarthy. I know, but let's assume that he finally figures shit out. I could see them winning this. I could. Split the series. But if you follow me on TikTok, you know that the Lions have a secret weapon in this game. I'm not going to talk about it because, I don't really want to get into it. But I think this is it depends. It depends on JJ McCarthy. It really does. I think even if JJ McCarthy's the guy, I still think the Lions split the series and probably win in Detroit. But if he is the guy, I could see them winning this. I don't know. Again, this is just my safe, prediction of what I think they're gonna do next year or this year. So let's just say they split the series, and then Week 18, it's against the Bears. Let's just say they split the series. So they split the series with other division rivals. They end up going 10-7. A lot of people see them doing that. And I think this is a very realistic look on what they could be doing, and I still think they probably make the playoffs this way. Now, let's do their floor, right? That's their average. I think that's what realistically it's going to look like. Let's do their floor. Let's see what the worst they could possibly do. So, yeah, they still lose to the Packers. I'm going to be honest, I don't see a scenario where the Bears beat the Lions in Detroit this early on in the season. I don't. So I think this is I don't want to say a certified W, but I feel pretty confident in this. Again, they still would lose to the Ravens. Again, I don't see a scenario, but yeah, I still feel, now this I feel like is a certified win, but it's always the games that you expect to win that always be nail biters. That's how it is being a Lions fan. Okay, this is where things start to change. They lose to the Bengals in an away game. They lose to the Chiefs. They're 2-4 now. Honestly, they could lose this. They lost to Tampa Bay at home last year. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a bit of a wild card. I could see them losing that. Shit, maybe JJ McCarthy's the guy. They lose this game. No, actually, the Vikings do give us a lot of fucking trouble. I could see this happening, but I don't feel like it will be. Honestly, I could say their floor is 0-17, but the Lions are good enough to at least be competitive, like worst case scenario. I still think they probably get that W. Yep, that's staying. That's staying. That's staying. I don't feel like Jackson Dart, at least not in his rookie year, is going to get this dub. Yeah, I could see the Packers sweeping us. I could. I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't think so. Not in Detroit. Yeah. Fuck, does the Mike Tomlin black magic work? Maybe. Yeah. So I got the floor being like 5-12. Now I think that's a really aggressive floor. Like I think in all actuality they're like probably 7-10, right? I think that's their actual floor. But yeah, my floor 5-12. So my conservative prediction 10-7, floor 5-12. Now let's do the fun part. Let's do what I think their ceiling could be. They could get this W. I mean, I said it right at first. I think this is like a toss-up game. I think they really could win this game. I really do. I just went with the Packers because, I mean, that's tough. That's a tough first game. But the Packers, like I said, I do feel like as of lately, they don't start off the year that great and they get better like the second half of the season. At least Jordan Love seems to be that way. So, yeah, they can start off the year beating the Packers in Green Bay, which I speak for all Lions fans. Maybe the single greatest way to open up a season ever, except for 2 years ago when they ended up beating the Chiefs in Arrowhead for the season opener. That was glorious. I think everybody in the NFL loved that, except for the Chiefs fans. Week 2, yeah. That's staying. week 3. I really don't see a scenario where the Lions beat the Ravens. I don't. Not in Baltimore, not this early on in the season. The Lions, they kind of struggle early on in the season. It's not horrible. It's just noticeably not as good. I don't think this early on in the season the Lions get a dub in Baltimore. So 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. I mean, this was my conservative prediction to begin with. 5-1, 6-1. Again, the Lions ended up. Here's the crazy thing about the Lions. The thing that gives me confidence: the Lions had led the entire NFL in injuries. Like, it wasn't even close. They had more injuries than the 49ers, and it was like by a significant amount, and they still went 15-2. Like, there's a very real possibility that even with their schedule and their 2 coordinators gone, that they're still fine. They're not that bad at all. Yeah. What is that? 6-1, 7-1. Okay, let's be realistic. Could they win this game? Yeah, probably. Assuming that. Okay, you know what? Best case scenario, I was right. Let's say that Jaden Daniels has a sophomore slump, which is something I really do think is a possibility. I'm not betting on it, but it could happen. So the Lions get this W. Let's say the Madden curse is real. Fuck it. Yeah, that's not changing. They sweep the Packers. I really do feel like the Rams are going to get this W. I'm going to be honest with you. That's a tough game. Yeah. Fuck that black magic shit. All right. Oh, you like Christmas? We like Christmas more. The Lions end up going 15-2 again. Maybe that's really aggressive, just like how aggressive my floor was. But, I mean, again, they went 15-2 last year while having, like, at least 30 significant injuries. Like, look, that game against the Commanders in the playoffs was really bad, but I really think that it was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, it was like the first or second play that Amik Robinson, like, broke his shoulder or his arm, like, second play of the game. Like, it just felt like that, we kept pushing and pushing and pushing through injuries, and it reached its breaking point. But yeah, I mean, maybe this is really possible. 15-2. Please just win a ring. Just one time in my life. Please just win a ring.